you guys are getting another look at Palin, Delurier, Hathaway. That's the one line that's kind of stuck together, and obviously that's a line that's planned a bit for the team. What do you like about the makeup of those three guys and the importance of kind of having them in a road game tonight?
Well, they know their roles, and they play the same way every shift. They're predictable, and that's what's good when you're playing and getting chemistry with one another is the predictability of your line mates. And so they're all on the same page. And I thought they played really well last game. Generated opportunity. The opposition doesn't like when they get on the ice. And when you're hard to play against like that, it's important. And, they can play against good lines, too. And, especially if you can play them against good lines, that's a dangerous combination. Vegas did it last year in the playoffs, and, that's why Kolasar and Tkachuk met up in that big hit, and it was a game changer. So we like the makeup of that line for sure.
Probably have a pretty good line tomorrow night. I assume 2 of the 3 guys are going to play up there. Is that what you're talking about?
Who are we talking about?
The Bruins line.
Oh, yeah, the Bruins are... No, they're going to have a good lineup, without a doubt, and so they're going to get opportunity to play against... we're not line matching,
okay.
You know what I mean, type thing, unless it's something we have to. Yeah, that's for sure.
How big of a game is this for Tyson Forster in terms of trying to make an impression? Obviously, he's making a big push to make the team, but he maybe hasn't had that standout performance just yet.
Well, in fairness to Tyson in game 1, he was bagged just like the rest of us. And so there wasn't much support out there for anybody because they were just trying to get through it. And give Jersey credit, their team, and that was a pretty darn good team they put on the ice right there too. So tonight will be interesting, exactly, because he'd be fresher, and it's not going to be easy. It's Boston Bruins, right? So it'll be good to see, with more of a full gas tank, the things that he did positively last year when we called him up.
What's the goaltender situation going to be like tonight?
Well, right now from what I understand, we're starting with Peterson. And then, I'll talk and see what happens with Urson as far as if he's coming in. Or I'm not even sure whether Urson's going to start tonight yet either.
So Peterson might get the whole game?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know how we've been going about it right now. So,
with regards to Travis Sanheim, it looks like he's going to try out the right side tonight. How closely are you guys going to be evaluating his comfort level on the right side?
Well, he feels comfortable there already. 2 years ago, he played on the right side, and he had a great year. I mean, he didn't play all the time there, but there was some significant time that he had spent over there, and he did a good job. He feels comfortable. He's a very active defenseman, and when you're active, playing on your offside sometimes can be an advantage offensively, for sure. So defensively, it's not an issue either. I mean, when guys are coming at you one-on-one, your stick is closer to the puck carrier in those situations as well. So it'll be good for us to see how he's played. Yorkie had to play there a lot last year, and we don't want to put him in that situation. We want to see him on his strong side, and so good opportunity for Sandy. He's going to be running our top power play tonight. I thought he's had a great camp. I thought he's done a great job over the summer strengthening himself, and he looks good out there. He's confident, which is important, and I'm excited to see him up at the top of that unit. I think he looked good in practice out here today. He's moving really well, so it'll be a good opportunity for him.
Is it a good test for Sanheim to, obviously Boston's not going to have their entire roster, but they're a big, heavy team. They play physical. They like to throw their weight around. One thing that he's struggled with at times over the course of his career is holding up against a forecheck, breaking the puck out under heavy pressure. And that's harder sometimes when you're on your offside because you have to make those plays on your backhand. Is it a test for him to maybe do that against Boston on the right side to see if he can handle it regularly?
Yeah, for sure. I think Sandy's put on a lot of weight this summer, and it hasn't slowed him down. And with weight comes confidence, and it also becomes leverage, too. And I think Sandy needed to improve his defensive game as far as in front of our net, and even when he's at the advantage, he's closing out into the corners. And I think he's looked good so far. So testing against stronger players in a big team is a positive thing. I have a lot of confidence that he's been able to turn the corner in that direction and to improve that part of his game. Breakouts, to me, was not an issue with Sandy. He's good with the breakouts. He's good with the legs. He uses his legs to get him out of trouble. It's hard to corner him. And in those situations where you are cornered and you got to eat the puck, I think he's strong enough right now that he can do that effectively and wait for help to come in.
You partially answered my question. I was going to ask about Igor. You mentioned yesterday he put on like 20 pounds of weight. What are some ways that weight, but maybe you don't think about that it actually helps these guys on the ice, that you kind of like see the difference in their game?
Well, it can be a positive, it can be a negative. If your legs are strong enough to carry the weight, then it's 100% a positive. It doesn't slow you down if it doesn't mess up your multi-directional skating. They were both smaller, physically not as strong players, specifically in their upper body as well. I don't think Igor is slowing down, but this will be good to see him in a game. This will be a challenge without a doubt, and it'll challenge his foot speed. He's got great range. He sees the ice really well, but he does have to improve those other areas of his game. And, you know, with the shoulder surgery and stuff this summer, I think he's done a good job of preparing himself and as best that he could. But it'll be a challenge without a doubt. And so I know as a staff, we're looking forward to see how he looks out there tonight.
What are you guys looking for out of Bobby Brink tonight?
Well, Bobby's a good power play player for one, but I want to see what he looks. This is me personally. I want to see what he looks like 5-on-5. I think his tracking and his reloading from the start of camp to right now has improved. I thought in the rookie games that he wasn't doing those things well, but we've been working on a lot of that stuff, and it's something as a team we had to get better at this year as far as our gap and our forwards' relationship to our gap with the tracking is. And so that's important for me because, you know, we're a team that in some cases we're not as talented as these other teams. We're going to have to play without the puck at times. We got to be really good at those things. Whether you're a top line player who's skilled, you still can back check, you can still track, you can still be disruptive. We're not expecting physicality out of them, but we're expecting guys like Bobby to be able to do those things effectively. And if you can, it's going to transition to offense. You can strip guys of the puck. Everybody's going one direction. You can counter back the other.
How do you communicate the importance of that to somebody like Brink? Because, you know, he's probably a guy who he's coming here with an aim to make the team. He's an offensive guy, so he might be thinking, if I make this team, I need to score a bunch of points in preseason. That leads to you cheating a little bit, leads to the gaps being wider, and then therefore you're getting trapped in the defensive zone the whole time. But how do you communicate to him that, you know, yes, the points matter for you, but you're not going to get those points if you're just spending the whole game by the other team's blue line hoping for an outlet pass?
We didn't generate any goals by tracking the puck, stripping a guy, and countering back. Teams like Carolina and Vegas, who are very good track teams, have a number of those. And so it's an offensive weapon. And whether you're an offensive player, that's how you sell it to them. Do you want offense? Offense isn't just going to be somebody's going to give you a pass at the far blue line. That can happen. You catch, you go, and you attack off the rush. Sometimes you got to do the work yourself. And again, there's a structural component with your defensemen holding their gap. We didn't do a good job of that last year either. Holding your gap, but our forwards working hard back. And when that gap is good, it slows down the forwards, leaving at the end. And if our track is working right off the bat, we're going to be able to strip pucks, counter back, and generate offense in different ways, not just on the power play or not just in transition. We can do it by stripping guys of the puck.